They'd bought it and now had a joint mortgage on it. Well, he had 70% of the mortgage and she had 30%, and it had been hard even to find that much of the deposit. She'd had to rent out her lovely home and move into the granny flat attached to it for the time being, in order to make up the rest of the monthly payment. Nick came into the bar from the back room. "Happy birthday, love!" He poured himself a red wine and raised the glass in a toast, merely wetting his lips with its contents. The same glass would be raised 20 times that evening, but the last mouthful would not be swallowed until after they closed. "No, let's drink to mortgages and making your dreams come true. They're much more important than birthdays." He clinked glasses again, then stepped back to study her appearance. "May I say how lovely you look tonight, young lady? You may have just turned 32, but you're wearing well, and I absolutely love that outfit." She chuckled. "Not exactly a young lady now, but mercy do compliment, kind sir." Dipping a curtsy, she spread out the long Indian print skirt and let her bangles clink. A hot pink peasant blouse completed the ensemble, and its brightness, together with the rows of sequins on her red bolero, had made one customer blink as he entered the bar. Well, Paula didn't care. She loved bright colours and retro clothes and bought hers mostly from charity shops. That supported people in need, saved money, and got her the genuine articles, which was a triple bonus as far as she was concerned. Her husband had hated her wearing them, saying they should be kept for parties. Well, she'd hated his navy business suits and white shirts. After his last promotion, he'd tried to get her to iron his white office shirts because she was better at it. She'd refused point blank. She'd given up ironing years ago, didn't believe it was a worthwhile human activity because the minute you put a garment on, it started acquiring wrinkles. "What treat are you planning for your birthday, Paula, love? You should at least take a day off." Her happiness slipped for a moment or two because her best friend had just moved across to the other side of Australia, and it was no fun wandering round shops on her own. "I don't need time off. I enjoy my work. Thanks anyway." She gave him a quick hug, then took another sip of champagne. "No luck with your latest search?" "No. I think I must have been created in a vacuum." She didn't understand why, but a few years ago she had started longing to know where she came from, but her search hadn't ended in success. She couldn't find her birth family because her father hadn't kept any relevant information or documents, and Tony, as he'd preferred her to call him, had insisted he had no close relatives. He'd passed away over 2 decades ago. Her birth mother was still alive but rarely came near her, and she too said they had no close relatives left. Paula checked the bar. No customers needed attention, so she raised her glass in a silent toast to her beloved stepmother, who had been a wonderful mother. Jenny had always made a big fuss over her birthday. Sadly, she'd died 18 months ago. Nick finished checking the shelves. "I'd better fetch some more bottles of that fancy new craft beer from the storeroom, Paula love. It's selling far better than I'd expected. I'll only be a couple of minutes." The street door opened and she set down her glass at once. A guy stood there, letting in a blast of hot air and the faint sounds of voices and traffic from the street. He frowned and stared round as if searching for someone. Nick always said how important it was to keep an eye on the customers, so Paula studied him, as she did everyone who came in. He was about her age, with exhaustion radiating from him, dimming the personality behind the attractive face. It was more than mere tiredness, she decided as she continued to study him. He looked sad, too. He let the door swing shut behind him, rubbing one temple absent-mindedly. His head must be aching, his dark business suit was badly creased, and he definitely didn't